Hey guys, this is Dee Dee with Motivated to Soar, and I want to talk about customer service, specifically FedEx. FedEx. I had ordered a laptop about 2 days ago, and after I paid my money, I received a confirmation saying that your order will be shipped out and you'll receive it the next day. However, in order to receive it, you need to sign for the receipt. You need to confirm that you're actually receiving the package. Well, before I left for my doctor's appointment, I told my husband, I was like, honey, be on the lookout for my laptop. They say you have to be here in order to sign for the laptop itself. And he was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I went out the garage and I don't know what made me step out front before I went to my car, but I stepped out front and guess what was in the middle of the driveway? Yeah, my laptop. My laptop. They had left my laptop in the middle of the driveway, right in front of the door, like not too far from the door. But it was the fact that they left it there. Anybody could have taken it, anything could have occurred with it. And I looked at my phone and it showed that it had been delivered. Yes, delivered, but not signed for. How are you delivering packages and not having the customer sign for their package? Especially when it's something expensive. You just don't leave people's stuff out like that as if you just don't even care about it. And I'm the type of person, I do not want anyone to leave their job. But when they sent me that survey, I gave a 3. I could have gave a 0 or a 1, but I didn't. Because of the fact that the laptop was intact. And that's what my girlfriend, she was like, well, you got it. That's not the point. That is not the point. I had saved for weeks. I saved for weeks for this laptop. That's my hard-earned money. And people just should not just be throwing people's stuff to the side as if it's nothing. Don't do that, because what if it belonged to you? What if it belonged to your mother, your sister, your brother? You just don't care? That's how you treat people's stuff? That's what they're paying you for, that you just leave it? You don't even care about it? Do better. Do better, FedEx. Do better. Do better. And one thing I can say, Amazon, they're going to take a picture. They're going to let you know, oh, we left your merchandise there. And the fact that the FedEx person, he had to enter it. He had to enter in that he left it. But I don't know what he did about the confirmation, because he definitely did not get my signature. It could have been a him or a her. I don't care who it was. They did not get my confirmation. They did not get my signature. So yeah, do better. Am I ranting? Absolutely. Is it legitimate? Absolutely. It's a valid concern. I mean, customer service is so not customer service these days. There's a particular store I go in every now and then, and this whole thing about before you leave, you get your own receipt. Oh, don't forget to pull your receipt off the register. Do I work behind the register? Why do I need to pull out my receipt? Why do I need to pull the receipt from the register? First of all, I've shopped. I paid my coins for the merchandise. Now I got to pull the receipt? That is crazy to me. And I do recall asking, and the individual told me that was their policy. They could not tear off the receipt and give it to the customer. So my cousin was like, well, maybe that's because people are saying that they are not getting their receipts. That doesn't make any sense. I do not follow that logic. It does not make any sense. And these people who have attitudes at the register, you need to stay home. You really do. You need to stay home, or you need to ask to be on the floor. You do not need to be having one-on-one. And I'm not talking to people who have people come through their lines and who are rude and nasty to them. I'm not talking about those individuals. But I'm just saying people who come to work with an attitude, you need to check your attitude at the door if you're going to service people. Because guess what? You are not going to have that job for a long period of time unless the employer is just desperate. Now, if they're desperate, that's one thing. But customer service, I refuse to pay my money and not be serviced properly. And again, I'm not one to tattletale on people because people need their jobs. But act like you need your job. Do your job. Do your job. Do it. And don't have an attitude. So going back to FedEx, do better. Do better. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, I was very disappointed with them. Very disappointed with them. To the point that it just left a bad taste in my mouth. It really did. It left a really bad taste in my mouth. And a lot of these guys I see driving these FedEx trucks, they're young guys, so they don't have that patience. They don't have that work ethics. They drive like maniacs on the expressway. Next time you get a chance, watch and see how the FedEx drivers be rolling. They roll hard. You better get out of their way. You best get out of their way. Yes, absolutely. So, for anyone who works in a customer service position, whether it's a restaurant, the grocery store, even the electric company, the phone company, what mortgage company, whatever, check yourself. Check yourself. And again, this is not against anyone who's dealing with hostile customers because there are some rude customers because I have been in line and I'm like, really? You're doing all that? This person is trying to help you and you're being rude. I'm not talking about those individuals, but I am talking about people who service people, do it with pride. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. I don't know what it is about Publix. I have never had a bad experience with anyone in their stores. I don't care what store I go to. Now, I'm sure there are some in there, but I'm talking about my personal encounter. It has never been bad. Publix, I don't know what they do with their what kind of training they take them through or whatever. It was this one young man. I was like, "Are you like this all the time?" And he was like, "Yes, ma'am. That's just my personality." Let me tell you, I was in there maybe 2, 3 weeks later. I saw him again. He didn't see me, but I observed his demeanor, just as nice, polite, professional as he could be. As he could be. And I was like, wow, wow, commendable, commendable. Yeah, so when you receive good customer service, don't forget to go and talk to their managers. Let them know, hey, you got a really good person on your team. They're doing a really good job. Just as quick as you are to complain about someone when they're doing a great job, make sure you say something. Make sure you do the surveys, send in the surveys. I'm big on surveys. People need their accolades, but people also need critical feedback as well. So yeah, I could have gave a 1, a 0 with the FedEx person, but I gave a 3. I gave a 3, and I just put on there very disappointed that my laptop was just left there. It was just left without, receiving a signature. So but yeah, guys, that's all I gotta say. So drop me a line about what do you think about customer service. What have been some of your good experiences as well as some of your bad experiences? I want to hear from you. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.